Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's September 7th, 2018, and today this is an episode of Ask Me Anything. Recently, after posting the video on the garden update, Abby Girl had, a 1994 Abby Girl had made a comment, and the comment is, "Beautiful, I'd love to see the food storage room with the huge garden that you have. The produce must be out of this world. Blessings." First off, thank you so much, 1994 Abby Girl. I really appreciate it. Thea and I both do. Thea's busy doing some other things right now, processing food. She's on vacation, so we're trying to get a lot of food processed and into our various storage systems. So I thought I'd give you sort of a brief overview of the storage locations that we utilize. So right behind me, I'm in our living room right now, are some shelving units with some of our foods that are the go-to foods, canned goods that we're using, that we produced on site, and that we're using in various, from day to day. I'm going to go into the den and show you another area as well. Okay, I'm in the den right now, and right over my right-hand shoulder on the left side of the screen, you could see some more canned goods. These are mostly herbs and teas and spices, those sorts of things. This is used multiple times a day, every day, and we have backups in other locations as well. So I'm going to go out into the garage area next. Okay, I'm out in our garage right now, and we have a total of 6 freezers and 4 refrigerator freezers. 5 of the freezers are over here, and as you can see, we have some labels on each one of the freezers so we can keep up to date with what's actually in each freezer and all. We have these little magnetic labels that go on the freezer doors and refrigerator doors. We don't have them all up yet, but we have them on 5 freezers and 2 refrigerator freezers. We also have some of these metal cabinets. We also have some of these glass door enclosed metal cabinets where we keep not just the foods that we produce here on site, but we have some of the resources. So, whether it's the nuts or various other elements, if we're using salts or sugars or whatever other materials we need to make or preserve the foods that we have, we keep those in these cabinets. Out here in Pepe, I have some of the canned goods that's got to go out to the root cellar. So we're going to take a ride out to the root cellar here in just a minute and bring these canned goods down into the root cellar, and I'll show you what's going on out there. But before we get to the root cellar, I thought I'd take you over to the work area because we have 2 refrigerators and a freezer over in the work area. And we have the dehydrators set up over there. They're going 24/7 right now. So right now I'm out in the work area, and this is one of the most active places during the winter months because all along these shelving units here to the sides is where we do all our starting of our seeds. So we start all our seedlings over in this building. The chicken coop is down the other side of the French doors there, and here we have our 4 dehydrators. These are the Excalibur dehydrators. And Thea just got done taking a lot of the leeks. So one of the things we do is garlic, leeks, onions. We process them to the point where they're pretty small chunks, and then we dehydrate them, and then vacuum seal them in canning containers, in quart or half-gallon canning containers. And sometimes they're ground up to use as a seasoning for all our foods, which makes it much more economical, and it's certainly much healthier because of the phase there's less of the traditional processing. This is just dehydration at low temperatures, not as hot, whereas some of the nutrients aren't lost in this process. And we haven't got these areas labeled yet, but here's another one of the freezers, the new one. And so we're getting the meals, the kale, various food supplies. And this is one we're working on right now, where a lot of meals will go over in here until we reorganize. And then in each one of these areas here, as we harvest more and more food, we bring 5-gallon buckets over into these refrigerators. And so like there's lots of leeks and carrots down in here, and they'll get further processed, end up going into the dehydrator as well. And that's about it over here. And we have some supplies stored in this building as well, but this video is going to be too long if I go through any more of that. So let's head out to the sugar shack where the root cellar is. So right now I'm out here at the sugar shack, and this is our wood storage area where the first part of where the sugar shack is. Behind those French doors is a sugar shack, and below that is a root cellar. So that's where we're going next. I'm just going to pause this video so I can bring some of those canned goods down there, and then we'll resume down there. So I'm down here in the root cellar now. Up above us is the sugar shack. It's the structure where the processing of maple syrup will be done in the future. Little spiral staircase coming down the stairs. This, just like many of the buildings that we build on site, this place is far from being complete yet. As a matter of fact, the structure is made out of, it has a concrete floor below us, and it's insulated concrete form. So you see this white styrofoam material around the walls. And there's studs on the inside of that just for extra security and strength, even though these are 8-inch thick concrete walls that are holding up the building. Because of the way that the weight of all of the water type products that'll be going on upstairs in the sugar shack and all, I actually overdid it as far as structural integrity. 2x12s and 2x6s for floor joists above me, and you know, certainly lots of extra support all around in the system. But this building hasn't been completed yet, and recently I had a problem with some mold starting down here because I didn't get the ventilation system, the cool air and waste warm air evacuation systems installed yet. But we have been successfully storing a lot of our canned goods down here. So down here in the floor are buckets of our seeds that we save. We process them, keep them down here. It's cool, dark, and dry inside of their jars that have desiccants inside of the jars. We use these plastic shelving to decrease any mold issues in the future. And lots of canned goods, pickles and soups, stews, and various other products all throughout this whole area. Peaches there, various jams and some of our fruit butters, more soups, cabbage, and many of our dehydrated foods as well. We can really shrink the volume of the produce by dehydrating them, shrinking them right down, removing all the moisture from these food sources, and vacuum sealing them in the containers. There's some corn as well, chilies and salsas, and then we have our dehydrated eggplants and peppers, and a whole variety of things. So this is a 16 by 24 structure down here, and it works out pretty well. I have a lot more to do to finish this area, and I'll make future videos as we get through the process. There's going to be another wall that goes up around the whole inside, and then shelving that goes on the exterior walls. And we're going to have do some labeling systems as well. This is more than just a root cellar. It's also a place where we process the waters, and whether it's reverse osmosis water, or it's the water from the ponds, or water from the wells, and it gets diverted from locations. It also takes totes, water, sap from totes that we have in the woods, brings it down in here, and we can bring it upstairs to be processed as well. So this is the central command for dealing with these various fluid agents on site as well. Again, everything's still in the developmental stages. It's been designed, but it does take me quite some time to get these systems done. So this is our root cellar. I love this room. We did have the moisture climb up because of I haven't finished this room yet, and so I brought a dehumidifier down here, and I'll be installing 2 fans because I got behind on doing this stuff, and hopefully before too long I'll get some of these wall boards up and get some of the next phases done in here. But I've got so many projects going on around the property here that, well, sad to say, I'm just not man enough to get all these things done in time. Right now it's getting stuff out of the gardens so that we can get ample food storage as possible. And it really is important to us that we're growing our own food, because we're really focusing on the nutritional components in the food and avoiding all those harmful things that we can pick up in the grocery stores. So thanks so much for your compliments as well. We really appreciate it. If you have any more comments or questions, please leave them below. I certainly appreciate it a great deal. If this video was of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when we post more videos. And certainly, have a super fantastic day, folks. Bye-bye now.